Hello and welcome. Today we are diving into a huge question facing pretty much every modern CPA firm out there. How do you actually structure your team to not just survive, but to really grow and be efficient? We're going to break down the three big models: offshore, nearshore, and of course, the traditional in-house setup.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's on every firm owner's mind. The pressure is on, and let's be honest, the old way of doing things just might not cut it anymore. So which path is the right one for you?
And that's really the heart of it. This isn't just about pinching pennies or saving a few bucks. This is a massive strategic decision. It's all about building a smarter, more flexible firm that can roll with the punches. All right, so let's set the stage here. What's really pushing firms to even have this conversation in the first place? We're calling it the modern CPA's dilemma.
Does any of this sound familiar? I bet it does. Deadlines feel like they're shrinking every year. Clients want the world for less, your profit margins are getting squeezed, and finding good local talent, it can feel absolutely impossible. It's like a perfect storm of headaches, and it's forcing everyone to think outside the box.
So, with all that pressure, what are firms actually doing about it? Let's break down the three main options on the table. And spoiler alert, each one comes with its own unique set of pros and cons, its own trade-offs.
First up, the classic, the one we all know, the in-house model. This is the way it's always been done, right? You hire your own people, they work for you, either in your office or maybe remotely, but they're your direct employees.
The upside? You get total control. You build your own culture. But, and here's the catch, you're staring down some seriously high costs, long hiring cycles, and maybe the biggest headache of all, trying to scale up for the absolute chaos of tax season and then scale back down is a nightmare.
Okay, next up is the middle-of-the-road option, nearshoring. This is where you're outsourcing, but you're keeping it close to home. Think neighboring countries. The whole idea is that you're in a similar time zone, which should make communication a lot easier.
So what's the deal here? Well, you get that real-time collaboration, which is a definite plus. But you're paying more than you would for an offshore team, the talent pools can be a lot smaller, and you might struggle to find that deep, specialized U.S. tax expertise you really need. It's a compromise, for sure.
And that brings us to the big one, offshoring. This is all about partnering with expert firms in countries farther away, like India. And the two massive drivers here are, you guessed it, huge cost savings and access to a gigantic pool of skilled talent.
Now, the upsides here are honestly pretty powerful. We're talking major cost savings, the potential to get work done literally overnight while you sleep, and incredible scalability for busy season. It's about turning your biggest expense, labor, into a flexible advantage. But, and this is a big but, it's not magic. To make it work, you absolutely have to have clear, documented processes and a partner you can really, truly trust.
Let's just let that number sink in for a second. 70%. The source material points to potential cost savings of up to 70% compared to hiring someone in-house. That's not just tweaking the budget. That is a complete game changer for your firm's bottom line and your ability to invest in other things.
Okay, we've met our three contenders. Now it's time for the main event. Let's put these models head-to-head and see how they really stack up when it comes to the things that matter most for a growing CPA firm.
And boom! This table really lays it all out. Just look at that offshore column. Green checks all the way down for costs, scalability, and speed. In-house is solid on expertise, of course, but man, those red X's on cost and scalability hurt. And nearshore? It's kind of stuck in the middle, right? It's a compromise that doesn't really seem to win in any single category, according to this data.
So, that's a lot of data. But what does it actually mean for your firm? How do you make a decision? Well, the next step is to connect all this info directly to what you're trying to achieve. Because this is definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Think of this as your quick and dirty decision guide. If you're trying to scale up fast or you need to slash costs without letting quality slip, the arrow points straight to an offshore model. If having constant, live, real-time calls is an absolute must, maybe nearshore is an option. And hey, if you want that total control above everything else and you don't mind the high overhead, in-house is still the way to go.
Okay, I can practically hear you thinking it, but is it safe? I'm handing over sensitive client data. And you know what? That is a fantastic and incredibly important question. Security has to be priority number one, no question about it. Look, any reputable offshore partner knows this is non-negotiable. The source makes it clear that the right partners use ironclad security protocols. Everything's encrypted, they use role-based access so only the right people see the right things, everything's in a secure cloud, and they use legally binding US-compliant NDAs. This is how you get efficiency without ever compromising on safety.
All right, let's pull all of this together with one last really crucial idea. We need to stop thinking about this as just a cost-cutting exercise and start seeing it as a strategic move for growth.
And this is the real takeaway. The smartest firms out there aren't just trying to figure out how to survive another tax season. No, they're building a flexible, scalable engine in their back office that gives them the freedom and the capacity to take on more clients, offer new services, and actually grow their firm without burning everyone out.
So I'll leave you with this one question to chew on. Take a hard look at your current setup, at the pressures you're facing, and where you want to be in 5 years. Is your current model a bottleneck that's holding you back? Or is it the engine that's going to power your growth for years to come? Because that choice could really define your future.